Hi everybody, hello and welcome back to our Christmas, I don't know what it is, it's a journal, it's ended up looking like a journal. So I've finished the one that I've done the stitching in, it's all done, it's looking really nice I think. I've used fabric and I've stitched around it and made this little front piece for it. I've used red and green gingham and just attached a little charm on there with a bulb clip. So how do we get our signatures in there? Well, hopefully I'm going to show you how to do that. So what I've done, the first thing I've done is cut myself a piece of grey card. Now this is thick card. If you don't have any, stick 2 pieces of a cereal box or something together and that'll give you a nice sturdy piece to work from. So this is kind of the inner spine really, and what I want to do is punch through it with the crocodile to give me some holes. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue stick on there just to hold it while I punch the holes in it. So I've marked top, and I'll show you the other marks in a minute that I've put on and quite what they are. So just temporarily tack that. This piece is the inner spine. It measures 2 inches by 7.5, and what I've done is I've marked a line 1/4 of an inch each from each edge, then 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, and this gives us the placing for the 1, 2, 3, 4 signatures that we're going to be putting into it. So don't get alarmed, just trust the process. Trust the process. So here's my crocodile. I've got it on the smallest of the holes, and I'm just literally going to punch those out, but be fairly accurate about it. Oh, it's sturdy stuff. So you can see that they just punch a nice hole there, and that'll keep us on the straight and narrow as we progress. I'll just finish that lot off. Right, so there we are. I've got all my holes, and I'm just going to take the top template piece off, which I just tacked with glue stick. Now then, I'm going to get my yoga mat out. Do I need my yoga mat at this stage? No, I don't think I do. Oh, what I am going to get out is my bookbinding glue. This is Pinflair bookbinding glue. It's great for this sort of thing. I mean, it is a bookbinding glue, and that is what it does. So I'm just going to get a plastic board out. And my little spreader, my children's spreader, but it works perfectly. And put glue all over this. So with this bookbinding glue, you really don't need much, but it's getting it spread out is the problem. They say if you can see it, you've got too much on, but you know, I'm just going to put it on as thin as I can. Spread it down. It's always, I don't know why, I always get worried when I come to the binding part, like it's going to go wrong or something. Well, yeah, you watch, it probably will go wrong. But the other one went all right. You know, the sewn in one, it was fine. did it yesterday, which is why there was no video yesterday. Right, so that's that. Don't think there's any real dry bits. Okay, so let's put the lid back on that, because I definitely don't want to spill that in my new craft room. And then I am going to I'm just going to remove that sticky board, put that down there, and then I've got a piece of calico. Any fabric will do actually, but this is fairly robust. And I'm just going to fold, it's 8 by 8 is what it measures. So if you've been following along with me, and your measurements are the same as mine, then that's what you need. So I'm just going to fold that in half there, and I'm going to put that halfway on this grey template, and I've got about 1/4 inch top and bottom of the cream fabric that's hanging over the edge. So do that and that and spread it all out nicely. And it really doesn't take long to stick this pin flare, not long at all. So let's just pick that up. That's stuck nicely onto there. Hopefully it's square, I think it kind of is. And then I'm going to get my yoga mat. That's one step ahead of the game. And get my pokey tool and poke through each of these holes. You need to be able to see them on the other side. That's all right, I can see those. Full attention. I wonder if it translates itself through YouTube, just how tense I am about this. There we go. So there's my holes, and just to make them even more noticeable to me, you don't have to, I'm going to take a Frixian pen and just put a little bit of, it's blue in this case, around where those holes are, so I can definitely see them. Because when you come to stitch your signatures in, you need to be able to, you need to know where you're going. There we are. So you can see that I've just darkened them. And with the Frixian, if you apply heat, it just disappears. And I have had people say, oh, you know, if you're in really cold temperatures or really hot temperatures or whatever, it comes back again. I have never witnessed that, is all I can say. So I'm happy to carry on using my Frixian. Right, so the next things we need are the actual signatures, which are over here, hiding from Catkin, who's been in here this morning, climbing up everything he possibly could. So which one are we going to make the front one? I like that, with the 2 charms on it, that's nice. And I like that one, that was the first one we did. That's got a charm on it as well. Yeah, I might put this one in first. I think so. Okay, so what we want to do is line the fabric up with the signature, and it should be just exactly the same height if you've torn it to 8 inches. And then I'm going to make a mark on my signature spine to match that hole. There we go. And then I'm going to open my signature up, take my piece of yoga mat, see where those holes are, where the marks are that I've made. One's there, one's there, and one's there. I'm just going to make those a little bit bigger, just to facilitate sewing in. So from the inside, you can clearly see where those holes are. So we're all right. We're doing all right. Now then, I just need to get myself some thread and a needle, which is what I forgot to get. So I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so I have located that. Oh, locating anything in here isn't easy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in from the back, so from the grey side, in through there, and then in through the centre hole of my signature. Like so. And the loose end will be on the outside. So we'll just leave that there like that. And then I want to come out of the top or the bottom, it doesn't matter. It's just a regular 3-hole pamphlet stitch, this. And back through that hole that we've marked and through the grey board, like so. And then all the way down to the bottom hole. Oh, need a bit more thread. Through the bottom hole, through the, from the back to the front, and then through that hole that we made in there. I can just see it vaguely. Oh. It's just a little bit tricky because you're holding something up, but don't worry. I just can't see that from the other side, so I'm just going to make it a little bit more prominent. So I want to come in, bottom hole, through that hole that we've just made a bit more noticeable, like that, and then back out through the centre. So through the centre there, and through the centre of the grey board, like that. Right, so I made a bit of a meal out of that. It's a regular 3-hole pamphlet stitch. It shouldn't be that awkward. So tighten those up and just check inside that they are tight. Top one's not terribly tight, so I'll just give it another. That's fine. Make sure that you've got one thread each side of the long stitch and just tie a knot. Right over left, left over right, that's that. And snip those off. Snip those ends off, and I'm going to leave about an inch. And that's that. That's our first signature sewn in. Yay, look, it's beginning to look nice already. So all I'm going to do is, let me just check that straight. I'm not sure that it is. Yeah, it is actually. Phew, that's all right. I thought it was going off kilter there. No, that's fine. So I'm going to sew the other 3 in exactly the same way. So they'll all end up with these long stitches down here, but you can't really see them, to be honest. And if I go over the holes that I made with my bone folder, that sort of just, you can't really see them. So I'll join you when I've got all 4 signatures sewn in, which may be some time, who knows. Okay, it's done. So there's our journal block. It's all sewn into that grey board, and we've got the fabric either side to attach it into the journal, and it's all looking okay. It's looking good. Just check each one as you put them in, just to make sure you have got them the right way up. I fortunately did, but I didn't check at the end they were all the right way up, but it's worth checking each one just to make sure. So there's our journal block. So that's kind of the difficult bit done, really. Although I wouldn't describe it as difficult, but it's a bit of a pain. Fiddly. So here's our other bits of grey board. And I have 2 that measure 6 1/4 by 8 1/4, so these 2 measure the same. And then the spine part, which measures 2 1/2 by 8 1/4. Okay, and we're going to just pop them like that. Well, a bit closer together maybe. And I'm going to use this lovely red Christmas fabric. It's got a bit of a foiling to it, not much, it's just cotton. And I'm not going to press it because when it goes onto the cover it gets all pressed out. So I'm going to start, I've left an overlap. Let's just see where these really need to go. There, and this one there, like that. So I can start with my spine and put it in first. Maybe move that over a little bit. And I'm just going to leave a gap that's about 1/8 of an inch between the covers. So let's put some glue on here. That's the thing to do. I'm really getting excited now about the Timmy project because it's, you know, coming to be a reality now. As soon as we get this bound, you know, we can start on Timmy, so get cracking. Don't be like I used to be. When I first started making journals, I used to make journal after journal and never bind them because I hated it. So don't be like I used to be. Make sure you bind it, make sure you've got a complete journal, and then you can either give it to someone for a Christmas gift or use it yourself over the Christmas period. You know, have your recipes in it, have your lists of who's coming to dinner or coming for drinks or whatever it may be. You can take photographs and add those to it. There's lots of things you can write in a Christmas journal. Loads. So I'm just putting my glue on, kind of as thinly as I can, but it's still quite thick. But I'm doing my best to spread it around. Shepherd's pie today, guys, for dinner. Well, lunch, dinner, whatever. Mr. F's got it on. And it smells delicious. And am I hungry? Yes, I'm blinking starving. So I hope it's going to be ready soon. I'd like to get this stuck in before it's stuck down, before it's ready. Right, so there we are, we've got our glue. Let's just flatten that out a bit. On this top edge, there's a bit of surplus. There we go. Right. So this wants to go fairly straight and fairly central. So about there, I would say. So I'm just going to remove those two bits coming next and just pull that fabric out. Run that, place that down, get your brayer and go over it. Turn it over and you can see all those creases just drop out. And just give it a good brayering. It's certainly nice and Christmassy, this fabric. You can use paper, of course you can. You've watched me use paper loads of times. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick that down there, leaving 1/8 of an inch gap down there, a good 1/8 probably, generous 1/8. And I'm going to do the same on this side, stick that one down there, and then come back and I'll show you how to fold it all up. Right, so there we are. I've got all my 3 pieces stuck on and it's all nice and flat and level. So it's just a matter now of turning these edges in. So I'm just going to stick with the bookbinding glue and just come in a little way. I don't really want all that on there. A little way from the edge. Doesn't matter if you go too far, it'll just dry and it'll be fine. But you do want this to be quite well stuck down. Having said that, so right along one edge, okay, and then you just, well, I always start at the middle and pull it over. Don't pull it so much as you're going to contort it, but quite firmly pull that over and into place like so. And then I'm going to this end, do the same thing and then come back along. There we go. So we've got a nice tidy edge along there, and I'm just going to do the same with this bottom one, and then I'll come back and show you what I do with the corners. So ordinarily if I was using paper I would have cut a piece out, etc. You've seen me do it before, but with this, because it's fabric, I really don't want any frayed edges. So I'm going to fold it up there level with the edge of the grey board and then fold that in. And this is thin cotton, it's patchwork weight, so you can easily do that without causing too much disturbance. And we are going to put paper over the inside, so I'm quite happy with that, that's fine. So I'll just spread my glue along there. Into that corner. I seem to have a lot of glue on here. Into that corner like that, and this one, and then fold it over, fold this one over, and then there you go. Press those down in place, and hey presto. Got a bit too much glue going on there, but it'll dry out, it'll be fine. So that's that one, and I'm just going to do the same at the other side. It's not the sharpest of corners, that one. Don't know why. That's a bit better. Yeah, there we go. That's a bit better. Right, so onto the other one. And I'll come back when I've done that. Okay, so that's that done. I've put a clip in each corner just to assure myself, I think, actually. And because you can see there's still wet glue around. So the next thing to do is to put the book block in. So we need glue, obviously. So I'm going to put glue down my spine first off. Right up to within sort of 1/8 of an inch really from the top. And you do want to make sure you've got plenty glue on here. You don't want it to come through the fabric, but you do want it to be held in place, because this is critical. This is the bit that holds it all in. So I'm just going to take my time. Make sure I've got glue everywhere. If you don't put this down very thick, it dries in an instant. So just down about in 1/8 of an inch, I'm trying to say, from the bottom. Then I want some in there, and really the only way I can think of doing it is to use this paintbrush and like the other end of it obviously, and just get some glue down in there. You might can think of a better way yourself. Don't know, maybe a credit card or something like that might do the trick. But you do want some glue in there. There we go, that's all right. And then back to the spreader. And I'm just going to do one side at the moment because it's all I can handle. And I'm just going to put a couple of inches of glue up there. Because we can come back at any stage once the block's in and glue the excess fabric down. Just want to get that book block in. Right, okay. I think we're okay. So let's take the book block, like that, and I get on better if I'm kind of doing it this way. So the grey board that we used is slightly smaller than the grey board that's in there. So just by eye, just come in a little bit from the edge. Make sure that your top and bottom are lined up. I think that's it there. Looks okay to me. Let's give it a good firm press down. And then the fabric comes over. and just press it into that groove that we've got, and then flatten it out on the glue. There will be some loose stuff here that isn't glue, but don't worry about that at the moment. So press that groove down, press your fabric down really well onto the spine. Whoops. And then we're going to go through each one. What we're going to use for that? Oh, I think I used a Sharpie. And just press these down with intent. Then on to the next one. And don't worry about the blue marks, we're going to get rid of them with a bit of heat from the heat gun. And then onto here. That looks okay. Press that down there, press your groove in. Get in the groove. And it's not quite equal, that I've got more of a space at the back than I have at the front, but I'm not awfully worried. But it is all square at least, which is good. So that's that. They're in there. Actually, that gap is pretty similar, so I'm alright. Just make sure that, I don't know what I've got that I can press in there. Tweezers, that's a good thing, yeah. Just make sure you've got that groove in. It helps a book to lay flat and also fold, bend. Right, so I just want to hold that up like that, so I'm just going to use my box of clips whilst I put some glue on this side, because this side I didn't put any on, if you remember. Just up to within 1/8 of an inch. That should be fine. So flatten that down. And just stick that onto the glue that we've just put on. And there we can leave it for a little while, just to dry. Just to dry, come to its senses a bit. Oh dear. Let's get my bone folder on there. Where's my tweezers gone? There they are. Let's put that crease in again. The groove. So there we are. So I'm going to leave that like that. I'm going to put something on the other side. That will do nicely. And just leave that to dry. And it should be fine. So I'll go and wash my gluey things up. See how dinner's coming along. And I'll be back with you to finish it off. But that's the worst done, you know. That's the fiddly, nudgery bits done. So I'll see you soon. Right, I think that's kind of dry and it's looking good, isn't it? It's looking good. And I have stuck all of that down and all of that down. It's folding nicely. The signatures open really nicely. Yeah, that's nice. That's a nice job. Okay, so now the next thing I want to address is no alligator mouse. Look at that. Is the closure, and I'm going to use this ribbon for the closure. I've got some 5/8 of an inch green gingham and some 3/8 of an inch red, and I'm going to just lay one over the other like that, so when they make the bow it'll look pretty. And I've taken 1 meter of each, and that's kind of halfway there. So that wants to be halfway on our spine, approximately. And let's just make sure that we are where we should be. So that measures 8 1/4. So the centre wants to be 4, and yeah, that's pretty good. So that's great. I'm just going to bring this down over. This is the back of the journal. And what I want to do before I put the inner in is use this. It's a piece of Tim Holtz ephemera, and I just want to put that on there. I want to glue the ribbon down, then put that on there and put some brads in it, and that'll just keep the ribbon from falling off when the journal's open, which is good. It's always good. So I've got my brads laid out there, but I just want to stick this down first. Otherwise, if it comes out from behind there, you're a bit snookered. So 4 1/8, I said, so I need to move that. 4 1/8 is the centre of the ribbons. So that's that there. No, not quite. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just put some glue down, and I'm going to use Collal. It doesn't really matter what you use because it won't be seen, but I do want to make sure that I don't go outside the edges of that label. So that's that there. Let's just put some glue down in the centre. And it doesn't matter if it looks a mess, because nobody will ever see it. That's probably sufficient, I would have said. Right, so just want to make sure that's coming right from the middle, which is there. There, yep. And just the green one will stick, the other one probably won't, but we can rectify that in a moment. 8 1/4, 4 1/8, we're not bad there. It's about that. So we'll stick that one down. You can see the glue's coming through it, but it really in this instance does not matter. And then put a bit of glue on top of the green one so we can stick the red one down. Like that. There we go. Lovely. Okay. Right, so this is going to go on there like that. I want it to be straight, obviously. So I'm just going to measure, it's about 3 inches for this particular piece. 3 inches up from the bottom. So I'll just use my quilting ruler to get that square. Maybe needs to be another little, let's try another 1/8 up, 3 1/8. Yeah, I think that's all right there. 3 1/8, yeah, okay. So let's just hold that off the journal a little bit. Get the pokey stick out, tool, should I say. And I'm going to go through that label and through the grey board. So I can get my brads in, yikes, that's tough. And here as well. Oh, it's because it's going through the fabric as well, isn't it? That's right. I'm going to leave that one just in case I've moved it. I just felt like I moved it a little bit. I've got holes there, yeah. I'm just going to make these holes a little bit bigger. Give me a chance of getting my brad legs in. It sounds like some disease, doesn't it? Brad legs. Whew. It's tough, the fabric is tough. But that's why I wanted to use it, because it is tough. Right, there we go. And keep our ribbon where we want it, and then let's pop the brads in if we can. They don't even want to go through there, come on. Make the hole a bit bigger for them. And I've still got one that I haven't put the hole in yet, but that's fine. So pop the brad in. Where's the hole? It's about there, I think. Lovely. So that's that in. Turn it over and open the legs out. It's so cumbersome, this. It's just kind of heavy. There we are. Open them out and squish them down. Sometimes the ruler works best, I find. Flattening the legs down. Right, moving along. Next one. Through there. Where's the hole? There it is. And this one. Can't actually see where the hole is. Oh, it might be there. That might be it. Yeah, I think so. You don't have to go through this palaver, you know. You can just put your ribbon on and leave it. It'll be fine. And then let's just get that where we want it, which is there. Come on, tool. And make a hole right through everything. Which is easy as said than done. It's like physical work out this. There we go. Splay the legs, that's it. There we go, right. So, that's great. That's my back ribbon. It's on there. It's glued underneath there, so it's not going to come out. And that's on with brads, which makes it, it's just nice to look at. So that's that. And then coming over to the front to decorate that, I think I'm going to use this green that I used for the other one. And I'm going to kind of make it opposite ways on. This one is green with red, and this one's going to be red with green, I think. So I want it, I'm not sure that edge is straight. No, it's not. Let's just straighten that edge up first. There we go. Oh, it's gone lovely and fluffy, that's nice. And then see where we want to cut this. I want it, I mean it measures, how wide does this measure? That's a very good question. Just a little light of 5. I'm not sure this edge is straight, you know. So I'm just going to take a bit off. Yeah, I think it was just not quite straight. But that's fine now, it is. So let's just bring that down to there and there. And I just want to leave, it's about 3/4 of an inch I think I'm leaving top and bottom. 3/4 of an inch to an inch. Tear that off. And that's what I've got. And what I intend to do is take this ribbon, the ribbon for the front, pop that over there, glue it down under that fabric. Well, I don't suppose I do need to glue it actually, because I'm going to glue the fabric. So yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan. Right, so I think the thing to do probably is just tack that ribbon down so it's not moving on me all the time. So we want it in the middle, of course, at 4 1/8. 4 1/8. Yeah, that's perfect. So I'm just going to tack that down there with a bit of colour. Tack the green one. And then the red. Just save it moving on me when I'm trying to put the other piece on. Let's just check that that looks all right with the back. I think so. Yeah, that's perfect. Perfect. Right. So now we want to put this piece on. I'm going for it fairly central, like that, I think. But I want to put some glue on it. The other one I stitched on, so it wasn't a problem. This one, I don't know what glue to use. Probably Fabri-Tac. But I'm going to have to be a bit careful because I don't want it coming through. So I'll go around the edges. And then just put light little lines. Little beads of glue. I really, really do not want it to come through. Strings. Okay, so about 3/4 of an inch down. It's about 3/4 of an inch in as well, actually. I'm glad I glued the ribbon. What does that look like? Not bad. Not bad is what that looks like. Looks okay. There we go. And then I want a piece of paper from the kit. So this is about the only piece I've got left. I don't quite want it that wide, so I'll just trim a little bit off there. If I can find a trimmer anywhere. Not much. I'll try 1/4 of an inch first and see what that looks like. I think that looks great. I like that. Okay, let's stick that down then. This time the glue isn't going to come through, so I can go to town. And don't want it squidging either, but you know, we're not restricted like we are with the fabric. Okay. About there. It's dinner ready.
Indeed it is.
Ooh. I'll be right there.
Just go and get the gong.
The dinner gong. So there we are. So I'm going to leave it like that while I go and have lunch, which is probably not a bad thing. It'll let all that glue dry and set up. Now just decorate that and put the papers on the inside. So I'll see you very soon. Okay, well I can tell you that lunch was delightful. It was absolutely gorgeous. Well done, Mr. F. He says he's thinking about starting his own YouTube cookery channel. Anyway, let's finish this. So these are 3 pieces of Tim Holtz ephemera, and I like the sort of flashcards, and I like the idea of putting that there. And then I've got this poinsettia, which I thought I could put there. And I like that. I think it's just enough. It's kind of classy. Yeah, let's do it then. Let's do it. Yeah, yesterday, as you know, I was binding the other journal that I've made, the sewing one. And I just reached a pitch with it that, I just couldn't do any more. So I said to Mr. F, do you fancy going out for a little jaunt? And he, of course, never wanted to turn a jaunt down. Said, yeah, where shall we go? I said, well, how about we go up to the Scottish border? It's not very far. I don't know how far it would be. 15, 20 miles, something like that. So we did that. And we at the border itself, there's a sort of a lay-by, pull-in on both sides. One is you're going from England to Scotland, and then on the other way from Scotland to England. So we pulled in there, not for any specific reason, just to say we'd reached Scotland, I suppose. And then it was still daylight, and, you know. So Mr. F said, well, where shall we go now? Well, the town that I was born in, Jedburgh, is the first sort of place that you come to when you go over the border into Scotland. So I said, well, how about we just nip up to Jedburgh and you know, call it a day. We'll say we've had a jaunt then, and that'll be nice. We'll come home. So we did that, and on the way we were debating what we're going to have for lunch today, because we're not into the full swing of going weekly shopping and everything yet. We're not as organised as we used to be. So I said, well, I think there's a Sainsbury's in Jedburgh. There always used to be. So we went to where used to be the Sainsbury's, and it's now actually a co-op, but that doesn't matter. So we decided that we'd have shepherd's pie. So Mr. F went off into the co-op to get the fixings, as you'd call it, for a shepherd's pie. I stayed in the car, of course, and watched YouTube, see what I was missing. And then on the way back, it dawned on us just how silly we are, really. gone all the way to Jedburgh just to get the stuff to make a shepherd's pie. And not only that, we hadn't bought it from a Scottish supermarket or anything. We bought it from the blinking Co-op. But anyway, that's by the by. It was very nice. And the potatoes and everything Mr. F got for the dinner today were Scottish potatoes. The mince was Aberdeen Angus. So it was a pretty Scottish meal, I suppose. Anyway, mince and taties, what's more Scottish than that? Well, haggis, I suppose, but yeah, it was really, really nice. And he's made enough for 2 days, so that's tomorrow's lunch taken care of. Right. So just sort of want to put that about there. Cross a little bit. Yep, to there. That's lovely. So you can see what they say. I mean, you can understand what they say perfectly. Oh, I've got a lot of glue down here, which I don't want. I seem to have lost my towel somewhere. I don't know where it is. I've got a bit of blue roll here. Let's get that off. I don't want that on the cover. There we are. So there's our cover completed. It looks very nice, I think. The ribbon's in place. The only thing we've still got to do is to put the papers in here. And I'm going to use this. You guys all know I'm really short of papers from this set. So let's have a look and see what we want it to measure. I want it to measure just less than 6 and about 8, just less than 6 by 8. And I want 2 pieces, just less than 6 by 8. I'll keep repeating it because I don't want to forget it. So let's cut the top bit off to 8. My Timmy Precision Precision trimmer should be coming soon, I think. I ordered it from Tonic directly, so I'm hoping it's not going to take forever. Had a thing the other day saying that they'd dispatched it, but still hasn't arrived. So that was 8, and I want the other measurement just less than 6. So there's 6, so just less than. And this one just less than as well. Lovely. There we go. Right. Let's get these stuck in. Nothing to do, is there, apart from just stick them in? Don't think so. They're going to look nice there, I think. Yeah, okay, let's do that. Quite like this pad that I've got of, this, kind of wood effect look. Looks wood panels, that might be more what I'm trying to say. Who knows? I think it's quite a cold day here today. We've got the heating on what we normally have it on, but it feels a bit chillier than normal. And our weather station that we had at the old house, we brought the interior piece with us, but we forgot to bring the exterior piece. So Mr. F has taken pity on me because, as you know, I need to know what the weather's doing at all times. So he's ordered a new one. So hopefully that should be coming someday soon. That's that. That looks fairly square, I think. Yeah. Lovely. And the back one. The back one's got these brads. So I just want to stick a bit of masking tape or something like that over them. Masking tape will do nicely. Just so they don't work their way through the paper. Because they can sometimes. So just cover them up. Lovely, that's great. That's all that's needed. That'll do the job. Got a bit of a lumpy bumpy there. Right, and glue this one in place. That turned out pretty, that page there, didn't it, with the 2 slip pockets. It was a bit of a trial, I seem to remember making it. It was one of those days when everything was going wrong. I seem to have quite a few of them. But fortunately, I'm an old hand at YouTube videos now, and I don't panic when things go wrong. And, you know, when I first started and things would go wrong, oh, it's like I was inconsolable. It's like the end of the world. But now I realise things just do go wrong. You just got to live with it. That's great. Yeah, that's lovely. Put the lid on the glue. So I shall do a flip through video of these. I mean, if you've been watching me make them, you don't need to watch the flip through, I don't suppose, for one moment. And then I'll get them listed on Etsy and on Ko-fi. Well, probably just Etsy, actually. There we go. That's that. Journal complete. Oh no, not quite. I wanted to stick some... Where's my envelope of... Here we are. Of fussy cuts. See what we've got. I like that one. I love that one. And all my favourites have made their way to the front now because they've been in and out so often. I like that one very much. I think those are the two, one for the front and one for the back. Come on, that's it. Oh, which do I want at the front? I might put the cup there because that's stacked and that's stacked, so it looks a bit like I'm trying to copy it, which I'm not. So, yeah, the night times are drawing in so quickly now. And in fact today, really, there hasn't been much light about at all. Even, you know, sort of midday and whatever. It's been a dark old day. So let's get this straight. Don't think that's too bad. That looks nice there. and then one for the back, which is great because we've already selected it. So the next project I'm going to video is the premiere for Sunday. And then, what day is it today? Thursday. Yeah, I better get that videoed. So there's a little project that I do, and then there's a collage. And then after that, maybe tomorrow, or maybe I'll leave it till next week, it's the start of Timmy. There we go. That is very nice. I like it. Lovely. And here endeth the journal. That's it. We've done it. We've worked diligently today, haven't we? So there we are. There's our journal. Let's tie it up. See what it looks like. I hope you like the finished version. Let's pull those out a bit. Separate them out. And I just want a thingy. Oh, where are my thingies? A bulb pin, and I've got red. I might use gold actually. Yeah, let's use gold. And I want a charm. Oh, I'm not sure what sort of charm I want. I like the candy cane ones. They're sort of thicker. Some of them are quite flat. And some of them have got no enamel on at all. I don't know. I'm wondering if I bought them from probably bought them from Ali over a series of years, I would have thought. What's that one? Oh, it's a little bell in green, and I used a little bell in red for the other one. So that fits in rather nicely. So, open that up like that. Pop my charm on. And just slide it through there. Like that. There we are. There's our little charm. So there's our non-sewn version of the journal, and here's our sewn version of the journal. And don't they look nice? Very complimentary. Oh, I hope you enjoyed making those. I really, really do. And like I say, I will be back relatively soon. Oh, I need to put fishtails in those ribbons, but you don't need to see me do that. I'll be back relatively soon when we'll be starting a new project. Thanks for joining me, everybody. I hope you've had fun. Bye.